Previously on Ninjago. Ninjago was at a point in the show when all the main cast were getting bland. In the case of the ninja, were repeating character arcs. Crystallize was the quote-unquote end of Ninjago, but it didn't do justice to the legacy that these writers built up. The Ninjago fanbase was crumbling because of the horrible installment. This was amplified because it was the quote-unquote last installment of the franchise. In reality, though, it was just an end of an era of Ninjago. There was a new era on the horizon. Ninjago was going to see a new installment in 2023 called Dragon's Rising. I, for one, had hope for this. Watching the trailer, it looked really nice. The visuals were incredible, especially with Wild Brain's track record. Many people, however, were worried since Crystallize made so many inconsistencies that Dragon's Rising would have to fix in order to be any good. When Dragon's Rising Season 1 came out, I was shocked at how well it worked as a fresh start. The merge was a great way to shake up the status quo, bringing a new cast of characters, these characters being Eren, Sora, and Wildfire, along with the main ninja, except for Jay. We will talk about him later though. Besides those three new characters, the new merge lands were bringing the opportunity for new side characters like Euphrasia, aka the new Master of Wind. The main new characters bring so many new possibilities for each character arc, even for the old ninja. The main new characters bring so many new possibilities for character arcs, even for the old ninja. A great example of this is Lloyd. Now he has Eren and Sora to train and look after, which brings more responsibility to his character. Being more specific, we must talk about Season 1. Honestly, I was really caught off guard by the entrance to Season 1. It basically shed some light on how a kid would see the ninja and the great things they have done. We get introduced to Eren and Sora the first episode. They eventually find Ryu, and then Lloyd finds them a little later and takes them to become ninja. They eventually find Kai, Nia, and Zane, and again in part 1, and Sora and Nia find Cole in part 2. The ninja explore the merged realms in Season 1 and stop Imperium from capturing more dragons. They also freed a Source Dragon, which is still somewhat a mystery to us for now. Lloyd also became a conduit for one of the Source Dragons, which basically means he can wield their power when granted it. He used this to his advantage to stop the Merge Quakes when he got a hold on the 3 Dragon Cores, which also were used to free the Source Dragon that Imperium had captured. Other than the main plot goals, the team was split into 4 in part 2 to find the Dragon Cores. It was nice to see the teams of 2 or 3 work together and make new connections. Season 1 was a fresh start, but it barely scratched the surface of what was to come. Season 2. Season 2 was the beginning of what I like to call a new saga. I like to call it the Shatterspin saga. The main villain in the season so far is Roz. He is a tiger from the wilderness realm that used to be Beatrix's right-hand man. Along with his new pawn Jordana and Cinder, he plans to release the Forbidden Five, apparently rogue elemental masters that made an ancient fighting art called Shatterspin. To use this technique, you need a mallet and gong of shattering. Cinder, the elemental master of smoke, now knows this technique. To combat this, the ninja go to a new master, Eagle and Rontu, because Lloyd saw it in one of his visions, which is another topic I'd like to touch on. Lloyd's visions are another example of mental health in the show, which I have seen to be very rare. This is another thing Dragon's Rising is good at, touching on complex themes. Roz doesn't end up freeing all of the Forbidden Five, just one, until part 2, however, where the rest are freed by Noct, one of the Forbidden Five. The next section here is about all the new characters. So we're going to start off with Eren. Eren, before the merge, was a huge ninja fan and was very passionate about being a ninja when granted the opportunity, and learned a wonky form of the spinjitzu on his own, but in season 2 part 2, he gets a little skeptical of the ninja's teachings and actually goes with Roz. That's a major spoiler right there. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting, which makes Eren a technical former ninja now. So Eren basically has a villain arc, which is very interesting. It's something new for the ninja. But also, I would like to talk about Jay. I know he's not a new character, but it almost feels like it, because he has none of his memories, and now, since the tournament, he works for Roz. Yeah, so he was on Roz's team for the tournament. That was really interesting in my opinion. But, I mean, and apparently he hates Nia now, so, yeah. But the next new character is Sora from Imperium, Eren's best friend ever since the merge happened, and the Elemental Master of Technology. I think the merge brought a whole bunch of new elemental powers out of Dormity, I guess. And that makes the season really interesting, honestly, because we get to see a whole bunch of elements that we could have never saw. Sora has a major character arc in season 1, like finding her true potential and stuff. And I think it's really interesting because they didn't go with the traditional route of parents getting redeemed. They went parents being just the worst parents you could ever imagine. And Sora found a new family, being the ninja, which I thought was really cool, honestly. Changed up the status quo again. Then we got Wildfire from the Wildness, very arrogant, and the Elemental Master of Heat. It's almost like old Kai, but even more stereotypical, which is kind of funny, but I think she dims down a little bit in season 2, but also not, because, you know, she hates Cinder and stuff, because they put Kai in the, I think it's nether space, if I'm not mistaken. Euphrasia is the new Elemental Master of Wind, and she's actually from the Cloud Kingdom. That's a little ironic, but she is pretty cool, I guess. I mean, she's a side character, so, but she is very kind and stuff. Typical. It's definitely more kind than the old Elemental Master of Wind. Roz is also from the Wildness, formerly worked, quote-unquote, worked for Imperium, and has a mysterious master that seems to be very powerful. Yeah, we have no idea who Roz's master is. It always intrigues me to see. I can't wait to see who his master is. I feel like it's a Source Dragon, but it could be something else. You never know. Empress Beatrix. This was the old Empress of Imperium. Gone for now because she got sucked into a merge quake. And she's very jealous and subconscious about not having an elemental power. Let's just say that. Cinder, the new Elemental Master of Smoke, is a pretty big jerk, I'm not gonna lie, but Elemental Master nonetheless, and he knows Shatterspin. He works for Roz. He's very arrogant. Yeah, he's just like all your mean stereotypes jumbled into one, I'm not gonna lie. And then we got Jordana, Sora's rival, quote-unquote rival there, because she was overshadowed by Sora's great inventions when she was a little kid. Honestly, I think she's a pretty interesting character because she doesn't exactly have, like, beef with the ninja. She has beef with, like, a ninja in training. Plus, she actually works for Roz now, so, well, yeah, she works for Roz now. So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting where her character goes, because she doesn't seem like all that bad exactly either. She just seemed really lonely as a kid, which, like, springs some stuff later in life. Well, in conclusion, overall, Dragon's Rising was the thing that saved the Ninjago franchise from total destruction. It introduced great characters that in time may become just as iconic as the original Ninja. Ninjago became great again, to put it short. It became the show that we adored once again. And Dragon's Rising Season 2 Part 2 shakes it up even more. I will make a video on that soon. But for now, see you guys next time. Peace.